Hello, Gemma and Paul. We made this video, Ito and I, to tell you how to enjoy uh, one of our beers, our Sorachi Ace. And we think the beer should be drank in three different stages, and we're going to go through those stages. But first of all, we must pick a suitable glass to drink the beer from. Traditionally, we drink our beers from these open neck things, which a lot of the flavour to get out before we get a chance to enjoy it. So we've chosen today to start our first stage of drinking in a glass like this. Because of its shape and all, it'll hold the flavour in. We'll be able to close our hand over the top and preserve some of the flavours, enjoy them as smells and as flavour in the beer. So the beer should be chilled first because it's a fairly highly carbonated beer, and it's going to create a fair amount of carbonation and spread and things. So we're going to pour it first. You may wonder why we've got the second glass already started, but that's the second stage where we've let the beer lose a lot of its carbonation so that we can get at the depth of the beer down in the liquid. And then finally we have a bottle here that we have left open and on the stage, which is for our third stage, and we'll start now and take it through. So the first stage is really the first pouring of the beer with all this lovely effervescence. So you can see that it's quite very highly carbonated, forms a nice head on the beer, and all those highly volatile flavours are coming off into the glass. So we can enjoy the smell of the beer and whisk it around to release some more of the flavours. You can see them streaming off and getting into the foam on top of the beer and making it quite enjoyable. You notice that the beer isn't as bright as normal English beers, but that's due because of the late hopping and also of the yeast still being able to climb up into the beer, but it doesn't deter from the enjoyment. So we'll pass it over to Ida now, who's from Italy, and this is the standard drinking that they go through. So at this stage we're getting a lot of the floral type flavours from the hop. The hop that we're used in this beer is called Sorachi Ace. It comes from Japan, and it made a real brewing sensation in 2010 when a hop farmer in America chose to grow it, and because it was such a significant flavour in the beer, it went round the world, and everybody knows of Sorachi Ace, from here in England to Italy, and of course in America, and back in Japan. Okay, so we've enjoyed a lot of the flavours. We can take some time over this now because we can. There's lots of more flavours streaming up out of the beer all the time, and enjoy it. So it's not a rush to get it finished, or it's not a rush to get down into the beer. We've got the suitable glass to hold the flavours, and we can take our time and enjoy the flavours here. And now we're going to move on to the second stage, and for this we've let the beer go flatter, and we've warmed it up a little bit in our hands so that we're now getting the flavours from the body of the beer, from the liquid of the beer. And now we expect to find some different things here. We'll find some more malt character, and we'll find the other flavours from the hops that we didn't experience in the fruity first flavours that came off with the volatiles coming up into the beer. So in this here now, yeah, I'm getting a much more malt tone to the beer. I'm beginning to feel an aftertone, a flavour in the beer, and we can begin to detect some of the more subtler flavours from Sorachi Ace, and it does blend and fade off after its earthiness to a coconut flavour. So I'm passing it over to Eno. And again, in the second stage, we can enjoy and talk about what we've experienced with the beer. And it's very, so while we aren't drinking a great volume, we're getting a lot more from each sip of the beer. And this is true how we enjoy the beers. Bit. So the final stage is to get at that beer that's very close to the yeast now, and because the pressure is going off, it'll have released some of the flavours that were absorbed by the yeast during the fermentation and the maturing of the beer in the bottle during the second fermentation, and they'll have come up into the beer. In Italy, they even swill the yeast up into the beer, and sometimes enjoy drinking that. Maybe that's a bit extreme for you for the first time, but certainly now that you're coming to the end of your enjoyable evening with the beer, now it's time to find the flavours that have come up from the yeast. So it's just a matter then of taking this a slightly warmer beer. Again, it'll be flatter now because it's lost a lot of its carbonation, but now it will be closer to the yeast. You see it's a bit more muddy in character. And now we're getting different flavors, and we're getting closer to the yeast. I think even Nita would like to drink some of the yeast, but he has to work later on today, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, we have the 1, 3, 2, and 3 stages of drinking the beer. Now, Ida and I will probably argue and squabble over what we find in the beer. And he's not a great fan of Sorachi Ace, and I'm trying to win him over to it. But it's all part of the enjoyment that you can now have with these beers brewed in a different way. You've seen the way Martin has started off by blogging about the beer, and we think that you need a lot more knowledge about the beer and about the ingredients before you can fully appreciate them. So we're going to send you up a pack with the glasses, with the beer, and hopefully you can get the same enjoyment as we do from the beers. Bye for now.
Bye.